o'clock on WKYT this morning, a Lexington bar will raise money to help a local music video producer who was shot last month. We're looking ahead to the fundraiser.
Also, some pets taken from a Clark County home that police called unlivable are on the road to recovery this morning. We'll tell you how you can help.
And Hillary Clinton and running mate Tim Kaine make their first appearance together on the campaign trail. That's ahead here on WKYT this morning.
This is WKYT This Morning.
Good morning. Happy Sunday to you. I'm Sean Moody.
And I'm Michelle Chamberlain, and it looks like it's going to be a wet week, but today not so bad. You were able to enjoy the lake yesterday, right?
Yeah, I got out there. Perfect day for it. Rain here and there. Could have used a little more sunscreen,
A little sun's good for you.
But no, it's not like today's going to be another hot one. Mike Linden is standing by with a look at your Sunday morning.
A hot one is an understatement, Sean. Temperature-wise, we'll get back to the upper 80s, low 90s, but with that humidity, it will feel so much hotter than that. But look at how it looks across the state this morning. Blue skies, very pretty as we get going early this morning across Kentucky. But let's look right here in Lexington. Look at that haziness along the horizon. That humidity is still with us. It's not going anywhere. And it's for that reason that temperatures are going to feel a lot hotter than what thermometers indicate. Right now, thermometers are showing the mid-70s, which is pretty good as we get our morning started. 76 in Lexington, 77 at the state capitol. Of course, just give it some time here, and we are going to see those temperatures work their way right back up to the upper 80s and lower 90s. But again, it's the humidity that's going to make things feel that much more uncomfortable. Coming up, I'll take you hour by hour into the afternoon and show you how hot it will feel if you plan on spending some time outdoors.
Mike, thank you. Today, 2 Lexington businesses will raise money to help a local music video producer who was shot last month.
Coleman Saunders was badly injured after 3 men robbed and shot him after he got out of a taxi at the corner of North Limestone and East 7th Street. WKYT's Mike Byers looking ahead to the fundraisers this morning. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning, Michelle. I'm here at IHOP on Palumbo Drive. The restaurant will be donating 20% of all its sales today to video music producer Coleman Saunders, just down the road from here at Austin City Saloon. They'll be raising money for Saunders as well. Back in June, Lexington police say Saunders took a taxi to the intersection of North Limestone and East 7th Street. Police say Saunders was then approached by 3 men who robbed and shot him. Fortunately, he survived. Saunders is well known in the music industry. He's produced and directed videos for artists like J.D. Shelburne, Kyle Douglas, and Sunday Best. One of the members of Sunday Best, Christopher Bentley, helped arrange a benefit earlier this month for Saunders. Local and regional musicians all gathered at Willie's Locally Known to help raise money to cover Saunders' medical bills. The doors open at 1 o'clock this afternoon at Austin City Saloon. They're expecting 28 bands to perform. In the meantime, come on down here to IHOP for some breakfast. Once again, they'll be donating 20% of all its sales today to Saunders. Live in Lexington, Mike Byer, WKYT.
Mike, thank you. Some pets pulled from a Clark County home are on the road to recovery this morning. Police rescued the animals from a home they called unlivable on Melbourne Street in Winchester. Now, the Clark County Animal Shelter is asking for help to take care of the 16 animals they took in from that home. Workers at the shelter say they need help adopting the animals they already have.
We hope that people will take this opportunity to know that by adopting an animal that's already here and looking for a home, even though it's not one of those, you're still creating a space and saving a life for the next one that needs help.
The animals from that home won't be up for adoption until the investigation is over, but so far they're getting some relief, and the shelter is getting plenty of support from the community.
A Laurel County teenager is facing charges after investigators say he threatened deputies. Deputies went out to a home on West Laurel Road near London to check out a complaint. When they got there, they say 18-year-old Jacob Jesse threatened to kill them. Jesse is charged with disorderly conduct, terroristic threatening, and menacing. State police are investigating a deadly crash in Knox County. They say Patricia Burke was driving around a curve on Kentucky 11 when she lost control of her motorcycle. She crossed the center line and crashed into a truck. Burke died at the scene. The driver of the truck is okay, and troopers do not think drugs or alcohol played a role in the crash.
New on WKYT this morning here in Lexington, Kentucky, utilities workers are trying to fix a utility pole after a driver hit it with a car. It happened just after 11 o'clock last night on Eastland Drive at Goodwin Drive. According to KU's website, they expect that pole to be fixed right around 9:30 this morning. If you're driving in that area, you want to be aware of possible road closures. Police say Barry Cook left the scene of that accident but was found down the road and arrested. He faces a DUI charge and a charge of leaving the scene of an accident. Hillary Clinton and her newly named running mate Tim Kaine made their first appearance together in the key battleground state of Florida.
They'll soon be in Philadelphia, where the Democratic National Convention begins tomorrow. That's where Jamie Yukas picks up our campaign coverage this morning.
Hillary Clinton introduced her pick for vice president at a rally in Miami Saturday.
Senator Tim Kaine is everything Donald Trump and Mike Pence are not.
Virginia Senator Tim Kaine showed off his fluent Spanish skills, hoping to appeal to Florida's Latino voters.
Y bienvenidos a todos.
Clinton said unlike Donald Trump, Kaine is qualified to do the job.
From Atlantic City to his so-called university, he leaves a trail of broken promises and wrecked lives wherever he goes.
The newly formed Democratic ticket is looking for momentum heading into next week's Democratic National Convention here in Philadelphia.
Clinton needs to shore up her support among single women who will be key players in this year's election, making up more than 20% of voters in the United States.
That's what Hillary brings to the table, is concrete ideas and a path forward to get to them being accomplished.
Meanwhile, Donald Trump called Kaine a career politician and claimed he was owned by banks. Kaine has a reputation for reaching across the aisle. Republican Senator Jeff Flake of Arizona tweeted, "Trying to count the ways I hate at Tim Kaine, drawing a blank. Congrats to a good man and a good friend." Jamie Yukas, CBS News, Philadelphia.
Virginia voters elected Kaine to the Senate in 2012. Now Donald Trump plans to visit Pennsylvania next week as well, with a campaign stop scheduled in Scranton. Here in Kentucky, the U.S. Senate race is picking up. Senator Rand Paul is looking to keep his seat this November. He plans on visiting eastern Kentucky next week for a series of town hall meetings. Paul will start his string of meetings in Pineville Tuesday and then head to Whitesburg. Wednesday, he will stop in Pikeville and then Campton. We checked Lexington Mayor Jim Gray's website. He is Paul's Democratic opponent. He has not posted any scheduled events for next week.
A Breathitt County woman is making a splash to raise awareness about a rare disease. Stephanie Rose Miles swam 8 miles for the Charcot-Marie Tooth Association. CMT is a rare disease similar to MS. Rose swam from ski stop to ski stop at Elkhorn Creek. She decided she wanted to do this swim after doctors diagnosed several of her family members with the disease.
And I thought, okay, this is just way too coincidental for a rare disease to be this much in my face.
Miles has set up an online fundraising page. We have a link to it on our website, WKYT.com. It's 8:07 now on your Sunday morning, and we are just getting started here.
Yeah, people all across America are feeling it. Hot, humid heat. We'll find out why still ahead on WKYT this morning.
And some bars are cashing in on the Pokemon Go craze. We'll take a look at what they're offering players after Mike's forecast.
And whatever you plan on doing outdoors today, whether it be going to the lake or playing Pokemon Go, it looks beautiful, at least for now. Coming up, I'll take you through the day, show you how the skies will change and how temperatures will feel as well.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with Mike Linden.
The heat is on, or back again, I should say, because every day that heat has just stuck with us. Of course, it is the summer, but that peak summer heat is here to stick around. Right now, as we get your Sunday morning started, still looking at a hazy, humid sky along the horizon. There's downtown Lexington, but right along the horizon, you can see that humidity that just has not gone anywhere. It has stayed with us. It has been the constant over the past week. The Defender Radar Network not showing anything right now, but of course, as we get into the afternoon, much like what we've seen almost every day, we will see those pop-up thunderstorms. Off to our west, a more organized line of storms set to arrive into Monday and Tuesday, but that ridge of high pressure over the Four Corners still hanging out and still bringing that core of heat to the center of the United States. And what we mean by the core of the heat, we're looking at triple-digit temperatures, let alone what the heat index is. But triple-digit temperatures, not quite in Kentucky. It's been hot, but we've been getting the humidity to go along with it. It's for that reason that we're seeing some thunderstorms and therefore some thicker clouds. That's keeping temperatures down from what they could be just off to our west. But of course, with that humidity, things are feeling a little bit hotter than what temperatures indicate. 76 degrees right now in Lexington, 77 in the state capital. Covington leading the charge at 79 degrees. Southeastern Kentucky still a little bit cooler than the rest, 70 degrees in Harlan County. Big difference from what we're seeing at other spots across the bluegrass state early on. 76 again in Lexington. We compare that to the rest of the country. Really starting to heat up now. 82 in St. Louis, 81 in Dallas, and along with New Orleans, most spots already pushing into that lower 80s range. Here in Kentucky, though, once we get into our afternoon, watch what happens. When you add on that humidity, this is what it will feel like this afternoon. The triple digits. 100 degrees in Lexington, 101 in Mount Sterling. And if you just want to really get an idea as to how warm it's going to feel throughout our day today, this is 10 o'clock this evening, feeling like 96 degrees, 98 in Frankfort and 104 in Covington. Again, 10 o'clock this evening. That's pretty late in the day to be still feeling like the mid to high 90s. Tomorrow, I'm just losing my train of thought here with how hot these temperatures could potentially feel tomorrow. 103 in Lexington, 107 in Mount Sterling. This is tomorrow, same point of the day. Daytime highs 4 or 5 o'clock. Again, those are temperatures of which it will feel like, not what your thermometer at home is going to say. This is with the added humidity. Now, as far as what we'll see active weather-wise, much like what we've seen almost every day, pop-up thunderstorms that stick around and then go away overnight. Monday, more of the same. Not too much through the early stages, then those thunderstorms appear into our afternoon and evening hours, and then they fade away. Tuesday, a very similar look as well. This is what we're talking about when we say a weather pattern. It's a couple of days of similar conditions all hanging around. Now, as far as your 7-day forecast, oh, there's the traffic map. Well, there's a look at your traffic. Not too bad out there this morning. Guess folks are taking advice and staying inside in the air conditioning at least for a little while longer, but here's your 7-day forecast for you. We'll pull that up. Temperatures are rather normal for this time of year. Don't get it twisted. These low 90s and upper 80s, these are not this heat wave that you're hearing about. These are normal temperatures. It's just that humidity that makes things feel that much hotter. And even stepping outside right now, 75 will feel more like 80 degrees. Bear in mind, it's right around 8:15.
Yeah.
So
right.
it feels pretty hot.
Yeah.
You got to be careful out there in the afternoon. Make sure you drink the water, right?
You want to dress appropriately too. You don't want to be wearing, dark clothing, like being outside in
Like
the
a suit jacket?
Probably not the best idea.
For sure. Thanks, Mike.
So we've been talking about it a lot, Pokemon Go. But it is a popular game, and people seem to be having a lot of fun with it. Well, now some businesses are cashing in on this craze.
Yeah, this is in Sacramento, California. There's a Pokemon pub crawl taking over the bars downtown. The Pokemon teams, of course, are easy to spot. You got Team Mystic in the blue, Team Instinct in yellow, and in the red, you got Team Valor. And the bars are going all out to make the players feel welcome, even offering a free cover if you show them your app. They've also created some specialty drinks named and decorated in honor of different Pokemon, like you got the Charmander Chaser they're serving, or a Pikachu Punch. Sounds tasty.
That's what you need. A lot of people drinking, running around, playing on their phones.
Playing Pokemon? Yeah. That's a Saturday night out right there. It's 8:16 now on your Sunday morning. There's still plenty ahead here on WKYT this morning.
Yeah, heat wave, like we've been talking about, is hitting the majority of the country. We'll find out exactly what is causing it and some tips for you while you're out in that heat. You'll hear the story coming up.
But before we go, Tuesday night's Mega Millions jackpot is $15 million. Wednesday night's Powerball jackpot, $422 million. We'll be right back. Welcome back. 8:19 now on your Sunday morning. People in more than 24 states are under heat warnings or advisories this weekend. It's being caused by what forecasters call a heat dome.
Yeah, a mix of heat and humidity is making conditions miserably hot for millions of Americans. Brian Webb reports.
In the nation's capital, people hid from the heat any way they could, from umbrellas to unique fashion statements.
Anywhere we walk, you sweat.
It's also steamy in Chicago and in Philadelphia, which is hosting the Democratic National Convention this week. In Oklahoma, this woman had to go to the doctor after receiving third-degree burns from hot pennies left in her car.
She'd never seen anything like it.
Forecasters are blaming something called a heat dome. Extreme heat is mixing with a high humidity air mass moving across the country, creating triple-digit heat indices.
Temperatures hit the upper 90s in Manhattan, but with the humidity, it feels like over 100 degrees.
Free Haagen-Dazs!
Haagen-Dazs used the heat to promote its ice cream, giving away free samples.
It's a little hot. Fortunately, a nice man across the street gave me some free ice cream and, just what the doctor ordered.
In Los Angeles, a reporter put a thermometer on a hot dashboard in direct sunlight. It reached 120 degrees in just a few minutes and then exploded.
You don't leave children, pets, even elderly in the car without the windows rolled down.
On the street, one pup was given booties to protect his paws. In several states, these dog days of summer are expected to continue into next week. Brian Webb for CBS News, New York.
It is hot.
You gotta be careful.
Drink the water. It's 8:20 now, and there's still more to come this morning.
Sports is next.
Former Wildcat Michael Kidd-Gilchrist was back in Lexington this weekend. Hear what he had to say about the upcoming season. And the UK Women's Football Clinic was held on Saturday. Highlights from that coming up next in sports.
And if you're heading outside today, just know that once again the heat is on and temperatures are going to feel a lot hotter than what thermometers indicate. Coming up, I'll show you how hot it will feel here in Kentucky this afternoon. Good morning, or rather a hot morning as we get started here in the Bluegrass. Temperatures already in the mid to high 70s, a few spots nearing on the lower 80s. It's not even 9 o'clock yet, and we're looking at 79 degrees in Covington. Lexington not far behind at 76, surrounded by a couple 77s out there. The state capital, Madison County, Montgomery County. And here's your heat index already starting to show signs of warming up. Feeling just a little bit warmer out there than what the thermometers indicate. Feeling more like 83 in Covington and feeling more like 78 in both Richmond and in Mount Sterling. That's going to be the key today, that heat index. That's the combination of your temperature and the humidity, what it will feel like outside. So even though your thermometer might say 90, 89 degrees for your high, this is what it will feel like if you step outside at 4 o'clock today, right around 100 degrees across the state. And here's a really good indicator of what those temperatures are going to feel like. This is 10 o'clock later this evening, pretty close to midnight. Feeling like 96 degrees in Lexington and still feeling like 104 in Covington. This summer heat's not going anywhere because even past Sunday, we're right back at it into Monday. Cannot emphasize enough, if you are going to spend some time outside, by all means enjoy. Head to the lake, go hiking, what have you. Just be sure to drink plenty of water when you do so. Lee K. Howard is back in next with sports.
Michael Kidd-Gilchrist won a championship as a freshman at Kentucky, but his NBA career has been riddled with injuries. MKG played in just 7 games last season for the Charlotte Hornets before re-injuring his shoulder. He was back in Lexington on Saturday and told reporters that through the ups and downs, he's been able to receive valuable advice from his boss and Hornets owner, Michael Jordan.
I talk to MJ a lot about everything about the game of basketball. It's ups and downs and ball period. I don't care who you are or what you do, but always stay the same person, and that's definitely what I did in the pros.
Speaking of Michael Jordan, Kidd-Gilchrist famously told reporters during his rookie season that Jordan beat him in a game of one-on-one. Well, today he was asked about that contest against the 50-year-old Jordan.
Oh, you funny. I'm out of here. Nah. You funny. Don't do that.
I don't think he was willing to say he'd play him again either. Meanwhile, UK hosted its annual Women's Football Clinic on Saturday at Commonwealth Stadium, and another large crowd attended. Nearly 300 women were there as the UK coaching staff explained offenses and defenses and talked all about recruiting. And then the highlight, well, the women got out there on the field where they were given instruction on the basics of blocking, tackling, running, and passing.
They're enthusiastic. They're excited about our football program, and you know, anytime that you get a chance to spend with some time with some dedicated fans like our women, it's always fun.
I think that's the great thing about this country. I think everybody's a football fan. I mean, it's become our national pastime.
Always one of the cooler parts of the preseason leading up to the UK football season that now is just a few weeks away. That does it for your morning sports. Have a great day.
Now at 8:30 on WKYT this morning, a Lexington bar will raise money to help a local music video producer who was shot last month. We're looking ahead to the fundraiser.
And a Franklin County woman is helping raise money for a fallen police officer's canine partner. And you can help out Figo coming up.
And the end is in sight for the Centerpoint project in downtown Lexington. We'll tell you when it's expected to be finished ahead on WKYT this morning.
This is WKYT This Morning.
Good Sunday morning to you. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Michelle Chamberlain.
And I'm Sean Moody. It looks like another just pure summer day out there today.
It's hot. It's humid. Is it going to get any better, Mike?
Not necessarily as far as heat goes. It's going to feel even hotter today than it has felt over the past few days. As far as the look, though, that's going to stay consistent. Starting off really nice across the state early this morning. Some very thin haziness along the horizon, but no real thick clouds yet. You can see that humidity in the air, though, and it's that's going to make things feel that much hotter outside. Right now, feeling like the low 80s, but this is what your thermometer is actually indicating right now. The mid to high 70s. That'll be the story of the day. Even though thermometers will say 89, 90 for your daytime highs today, it will feel that much hotter, feeling more like the triple digits in a few spots out there. So the peak summer heat is here, and it is not going anywhere. Coming up, if you plan on spending any time outside today, I'll show you how hot it will feel throughout the day today across the Bluegrass State.
Mike, thank you. Today, 2 Lexington businesses will raise money to help a local music video producer who was shot last month.
Yeah, Coleman Saunders was badly injured after 3 men robbed and shot him after he got out of a taxi at the corner of North Limestone and East 7th Street. WKYT's Mike Byers looking ahead to today's fundraiser. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning, Michelle. A couple of Lexington businesses are helping out music video producer Coleman Saunders today. IHOP here on Palumbo Drive is donating 20% of all its sales to Saunders. Just down the road from here is Austin City Saloon. They'll be raising money for Saunders as well. This after back in June when Lexington police say Saunders took a taxi to the intersection of North Limestone and East 7th Street. Police say Saunders was then approached by 3 men who robbed and shot him. Fortunately, he survived. Saunders is well known in the music industry. He produced and directed videos for artists like J.D. Shelburne, Kyle Douglas, and Sunday Best. One of the members of Sunday Best, Christopher Bentley, helped arrange a benefit earlier this month for Saunders. Local and regional musicians all gathered at Willie's Locally Known to help raise money to cover Saunders' medical bills. The doors open at 1 this afternoon at Austin City Saloon. They're expecting 28 bands to perform. Saunders himself is expected to attend. All money raised will be donated to him. Live in Lexington, Mike Byer, WKYT.
Mike, thank you. A Frankfort woman is trying to raise money to help a fallen police officer's canine partner. This picture of Figo went viral after Bardstown police officer Jason Ellis's funeral. You remember that, his paw there on the coffin. Officer Ellis was shot and killed 3 years ago. He left behind a wife, 2 sons, and his partner Figo. Figo's 10 years old now and has some health issues. Misha Branscombe knew the Ellis story and saw the photo of Figo at the funeral. She's now a friend of the family and has made a fundraising page to help take care of him.
They do have a special needs child in the family, so every penny that we have that goes towards Figo's care is money they don't have to spend.
The Ellis family says Figo will need surgery and he's got arthritis. At last check, Branscombe has raised about $3,500 for Figo. Her goal is to raise $10,000. We've got a link to Figo's fundraising page on our website, WKYT.com. We have an update on a Kentucky woman seriously injured during a cycling event in France. Former state auditor Bob Babbage says his wife was riding in an event in conjunction with the Tour de France when she crashed. We've learned that Laura Babbage is still in the ICU in serious condition with a head injury, but is stable. Babbage flew to France on Thursday to be there with his wife. There will be a community prayer service for Laura tomorrow night at 7 o'clock at the Cathedral of Christ the King in Lexington.
New on WKYT this morning, Lexington police responded to a call of a gas station robbery. It happened just after 2 o'clock this morning at the Shell gas station on South Broadway. Police say the suspects were seen leaving the gas station in a car. Police tell us they tried to pull a car over that matched that description, but it took off. They followed the car to Mason Headley Road, where the suspects got out and ran. Police used dogs to track the suspects. Police tell us they took one juvenile in for questioning, but they don't know if that person is connected with the robbery. Lexington police are also looking for two men who they say are wanted for two different robberies. The first one happened at the Fifth Third Bank on Versailles Road. Police say the man who they say is behind the robbery, Kelly Cox, was also involved in two other robberies last week. They say he robbed the Fork Bank on New Circle Road and the Marathon gas station on North Broadway.
We just need to try to locate this subject because we feel like I said, he's getting desperate and brazen with his actions at this point, and we'd like to hurry and get him off the streets before he hits another location.
Lexington police are also investigating a second bank robbery. This one happened at the Republic Bank on Harrodsburg Road. Police say a man walked in with a mask over his face and jumped over the counter. Police don't have much of a description, but they did give us this picture of the suspect. Police do not think the two robberies are connected.
Police in Kenton County are looking for a man who they say pretended to be an officer and then sexually assaulted a 12-year-old girl. Ellesmere police released this sketch of the man. They say he told the girl he would arrest her if she didn't cooperate with him, and that he then forced her into a wooded area beside a park and assaulted her. Police say that man is in his 30s or 40s with curly orange hair and a beard. A Bell County woman is in jail accused of shooting and killing a man. State police said they found Houston Langford shot to death on Dorton Branch Road in Pineville. Troopers say Melissa Sanchez admitted to shooting him. She's in the Bell County Detention Center. Langford's body is at the state medical examiner's office in Frankfort for an autopsy.
State police say someone found a body in a western Kentucky river. Troopers say someone fishing in the Green River near Johnson Springs Road in Hart County found a body in a container. The body is now at the medical examiner's office for an autopsy. Troopers have not released the name of that person yet.
There is an end in sight for the Centerpoint project. Our partners at the Lexington Herald-Leader report the complex should be complete by spring 2018. They also report that the Centerpoint garage will be finished next spring. Now, earlier this week, you see these pictures on your screen. Dudley Webb released the final renderings for the project. They include an apartment building, a Marriott hotel, offices, and a Jeff Ruby steakhouse. Webb says the hotel could take up until summer 2018 to finish because of its complicated finishes. This project was first announced back in 2008.
First responders here in Lexington are getting ready to run some bases. They'll participate in the 16th annual Lexington Police versus Lexington Fire softball game. After the Lexington Legends afternoon game today, police officers and firefighters will compete in the gun and hoses game. First responders get free tickets to Sunday's Legends game, and their families will receive tickets at discounted prices. Today is the last day of the Bluegrass Fair here in Lexington. You can enjoy fair rides, games, and food before the summer tradition is over. The gates open at 3 at Masterson Station Park. Admission into the fair will cost you $6 and is free for kids 6 and under. So get out there and enjoy the fair on its last day.
Yeah, get some funnel cake. I'm all about that.
Oh, that sounds great. Your time now is 8:38 on this Sunday morning. There's plenty ahead on WKYT this morning.
If you play Pokemon Go, but maybe don't have as much time as you'd like to dedicate to the game, well, there are some professionals who can help you out. That's coming up after Mike's forecast.
And if you plan on spending Pokemon Go, if you plan on spending some time outside playing Pokemon Go, or just some time outside in general, get ready for another hot one, to say the least. Coming up, I'll take you through the day and show you how hot it will feel outside in the Bluegrass State today.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with Mike Linden.
Here we go again. The summer heat is back in full force, and you will certainly feel it if you step outside, even for a moment, especially so later this afternoon. Take a look at the live sky camera looking toward downtown Lexington. A beautiful view, but a hazy one nonetheless. It's that humidity in the air that's keeping things feeling a lot hotter than what temperatures actually are across the Commonwealth. Looking at the Defender radar network, not seeing very much right now. but this was very similar to yesterday morning. Didn't see very much, then those pop-up thunderstorms got here. We're looking at the same recipe out there today, the potential for some active weather. We still have some widespread storms out to our west, or rather a more organized line of storms right now pushing through Kansas. That will get here into tomorrow, but that high pressure still off to our west, still dominating this heat here in the United States. Now, near that big blue H is the core of the heat, meaning that's where we're finding the triple-digit drier temperatures. So what's the difference between what's out west and what we're getting here in Kentucky? It's easy. It's the humidity. It's a lot more humid here in the bluegrass state east of that core of the humidity. But remember, with that humidity, we get thunderstorms firing up. And with thunderstorms, that means clouds. And that's actually working to keep our temperatures down, or at least cooler than where they should be compared to where they are out west. Right now, though, in Kentucky, we're looking at temperatures that are slowly rising in the mid to high 70s. So already getting started here early this morning. You compare that to the rest of the country. You just look out west, 79 in Kansas City, 82 in New Orleans, 81 in Dallas. So out west, they're a little bit warmer than us. But remember, we have the humidity here in Kentucky that's forcing those temperatures to feel that much hotter. Excuse me. Looking at our hour by hour, this is really remarkable. As we get into our afternoon today, temperatures feeling like the triple digits. Mind you, the thermometer will say 90, potentially 91 or even 92 in a few spots out there today. But look at how hot it feels when you add in that humidity. This is 4 o'clock. Look what happens as we head into this evening. This is 10 o'clock. Feeling like 96 in Kentucky, or in Lexington rather, 104 in Covington. Of course, these models might be overcooked just a little bit, really holding on to that heat, but regardless, that's pretty impressive for 10 o'clock this evening. Moving overnight and heading into Monday, it's more of the same, if not feeling even hotter. 107 in Mount Sterling, 103 in Lexington. What you need to take away from all of this is that the heat index readings, the feels like temperature, will be running in the triple digits, or at least close to it, for at least the next several days. To boot, we are looking at more active weather too. This is 3 o'clock today. If you plan on going outside, whether you're going to the lake, going hiking, what have you, there is that chance for thunderstorm development. And even though the models aren't really picking up on the exact location of where they will be, much like yesterday, they look to be relatively short-lived and then move on. But we're still looking at more of that on Monday and on Tuesday and on Wednesday, and on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday next week of, well, this is the pattern that we're locked into. The summer heat with thunderstorm chances daily. But remember, looking at these temperatures here on the 7-day forecast, these are normal for this time of year. I mean, it's not necessarily a heat wave. You can't really call it a heat wave in Kentucky because we're just not really getting those above normal temperatures over 90 degrees several days in a row. That's what you need for it to be a heat wave. We'll be normal temperature-wise, but it's that humidity that's making things feel that much more unbearable. I mean, just from being outside yesterday for even 5 minutes, you really just start to sweat. So you need to grab some water and bring it with you, especially for the kids and the elderly.
For sure.
Thanks so much, Mike.
Well, so Pokemon Go, of course, has become huge. A lot of people here at WKYT even play a little bit, but sometimes work just gets in the way of trying to be the very best. Maybe you have that same problem at home.
Yeah, too bad you don't live in New York. Two friends in the Empire State are offering their services as professional Pokemon trainers. That's right. They call themselves Pokewalkers, and they say business is booming.
So we put the ad up, and then I couldn't even do it by myself. I had 2 phones. I was doing like 10-hour days, and I got my friend Jordan to come along with me, and now it looks like we're gonna have to hire another person. So it's been booming.
Wow, these Pokewalkers charge $20 an hour for their services. They'll log into your account and they'll play their game for you while you're stuck at work. And I just think, doesn't this defeat the purpose of playing Pokemon Go?
It depends on what your purpose is.
Yeah?
I don't know.
I guess I don't know the game well enough.
I just found a new weekend job. I don't know about you.
Being a Pokewalker.
Exactly.
There you go.
It's 8:46 now on your Sunday morning.
We'll have more news when we come back.
Good morning. I'm Bill Bryant, hoping you're staying cool this hot weekend in Kentucky. Kentucky's Justice and Safety Secretary John Tilley acknowledges that the state is losing a war on drugs right now, and Frankfort is trying to find ways to respond. But he also says Kentucky is a safe place to live compared to many other states with more violent crime. Tilley talks with me on this weekend's edition of Kentucky Newsmakers, where we also talk about a report that people feel less safe even though there is less crime than when many of us were growing up. We have a lot less crime now than we did 30 years ago in this country, and yet there's no denying that people out there do not feel safe. What's the disconnect?
Well, I mean, I think it's so different now because we are just wired in at all moments to hear about the latest crime that occurs because of social media. You know, 2 lines on Twitter and you've learned about another event that's happened somewhere in the world. And I think so it all comes crashing in on people. You know, I've been trying to let people know that for years, that crime is actually down. In Kentucky, it's been flat and dropping slightly for years since the mid-1970s. We're one of the safest 5 states in the country in Kentucky. Our neighbors to the south in Tennessee, the #1 most dangerous state oftentimes. And so I think we do things right here. We have, I think, the most and well-trained law enforcement. We have more hours and more in-service for training just down the road at EKU mostly, but at our academies as well that are across the state. And so I think we do it right in a lot of ways. But to convince people that we are safe, again, the list relative to previous years and relative to past times is hard to do. So there's a tremendous disconnect, but I think it just begins with an awareness campaign.
In your capacity, you oversee Kentucky State Police. As you see what has happened in the country with police and community relations, what are your observations about what needs to change?
Well, I think, again, the way we do it in Kentucky, I mean, I come from Hopkinsville, and my police chief 3 or 4 years ago began meeting with community leaders and began going into communities, having cookouts and playing with children on playgrounds and building trust. He took his officers there in mass, and that's going on across the state now. I know they're doing it in Frankfort. I was at a unity march last night. I know my state police are highly trained, and what we think is that because we are the most highly trained force, again, that's across all manner of law enforcement in Kentucky, from the state police to sheriffs to municipal law enforcement, that's why, you know, knock on wood, we've not seen the problems here in Kentucky. I don't hear the complaints that my counterparts here across the country and we've been talking about for years. I do think there's a sense of community. There's a sense of unity with these communities and law enforcement. That's not to say there aren't disconnects. That's not to say there aren't pockets in the state that need work, but I think the groundwork has been laid. That formula is here in Kentucky for the rest of the country to observe and use.
KSP is hiring right now and sort of openly recruiting from local police departments. Is that the best place to find officers who are willing to do that kind of work?
Well, one thing we did, we finally, after a decade of really, efforts, we finally gave our men and women in the state police a raise, a much needed raise. They were not the highest paid law enforcement agency in the state and weren't close, but now we've given them a real raise and a real reason to stay in the state police, and our numbers should climb back up. We're around 850 to 60 now. We should be closer to 1050 or 1100 of state policemen and women across the state. We're not there yet. We think we'll get there.
Now, you can see my full interview with Secretary Tilley. We also hear from Lexington Police Chief Mark Barnard and some highlights from Senator Ralph Alvarado's speech at the Republican Convention. All of that on Kentucky Newsmakers, which will repeat this morning at 10 over on the CW Lexington. Set your DVR or catch it then. And we'll have the latest news, weather, and live drive traffic bright and early this week on WKYT This Morning. I'm Bill Bryant. We'll be right back.
Welcome back, 8:55 on your Sunday morning. There happen to be a few interesting national holidays today that you might not have known about.
Yeah, I didn't even know about this one. It's National Parents Day. So moms get a holiday in May, dads get one in June, but in July we celebrate them both at once. So spend some time with your mom and dad today, or even someone who's like a parent to you. And if you're on social media, use the hashtag National Parents Day on your Twitter posts.
Coming up on CBS Sunday Morning, meet an actor Philadelphia put on the map. Sylvester Stallone, then go on board a solar plane making its way around the world and catch up with actress and singer Kristen Bell.
I love her.
That's all coming up on CBS Sunday Morning right here on WKYT from 9 to 10:30.
You know, she's the voice of Anna in Frozen.
I've heard.
Yeah.
Big deal with the kids.
She did really well.
Yeah. We might have to be in a frozen state of mind to like cool down a little bit, because we are looking at temperatures once again that are going to feel like the triple digits. Your thermometer will say 90, 91, but it will feel more like 100, 101 out there today thanks to that humidity. Very similar to how we've been almost every day. We're looking at hot and humid conditions with pop-up thunderstorms into the afternoon. All in all, just a normal summer day, just feeling way hot out there. So be sure to drink plenty of water, of course, wear sunscreen, but of course enjoy this beautiful summer Sunday.
All right, nobody's more up to date than you to start the day. The news is always on at WKYT.com.
Try to stay cool. Have a great day, everybody.